Welcome to The Big Reset, Marketing and Business Edition, a podcast for entrepreneurs, forward thinkers, and marketing junkies embracing new world business strategies and zigging when others zag. Host Scott Harkey is president and CEO of OH Partners, one of the largest and most decorated creative agencies in the Southwest, which has helped open the door for him to sit down with an array of high-octane guests and personalities, all with credible stories to tell and valuable insights to share. As the advertising and marketing industry continue heading towards new world shifts, align yourself with true leaders in the space and make the Big Reset a weekly habit as you stay one step ahead of the masses in your journey to self-educate, learn, and grow your personal and professional brand.
Welcome to Playing with Fire. I got my old high school bro here today, Jason St. Clair from Xendurance, also a MLB agent. We're going to talk about Jason's kind of background. We're going to talk about how he got going in the business. Hopefully not too many high school stories, but...
Can you believe it's been 20 years?
Has it been 20 years?
Well, 21 for you.
I mean, right? Yeah, you know, it has been. That's insane, dude.
Well, you didn't have a reunion then.
No, like COVID. No reunion.
Wait, that's mine this year, though.
Are you guys going to have one?
I haven't heard of anything.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
So
funny. We were sitting the other day, like at lunch or something. And Jason and I played football together, baseball together, but Jason was like good. Like Jason actually like played a lot and like got drafted and like, you know, actually played pro baseball. But you're so nice. Like, you're like, no, you played a lot in football. Like, no, dude, you started over me. I went in when there was like a blocking play. I was like, Jason thought I actually played a lot. That's cool.
The funny thing about the football is like my dad wouldn't let me play till high school.
So I didn't play till high school either.
You and I were just both fast and we could catch.
Yeah, that's it.
That was all I had. And we were scrawny and.
Well, I looked around football. Like we had like our football team was ranked like 6th in the nation.
Oh my God. After you look back at like Goggins.
Oh, dude, insane.
Kennard.
We recruited everybody. We had like 11 D1 players both years. And I was looking around, I was like, this is my only chance. I got to beat this guy. And he's a year younger than me. And I couldn't beat you. I was like, damn, he's a pro baseball player. You're my only chance. Like, here's a smaller little white kid. Maybe I can get him. Nope.
Ritte, Elliott, John. Oh man, we had some players.
Crazy. We had like 3 NFL guys we played with.
I loved playing the game. I loved Friday nights, but I hated practice.
It was hard.
Like they'd call us out for hitting drills. They're like, great, pick on the smallest guys and just take us out.
It toughened you up though. Like it did. It like helped kind of make us. Yeah. Like I think for me anyway.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it was cool to catch up. So like, you know, you and I, especially the last 5 years, like kind of, you know, been meeting more regularly, just like seeing what you've done in your business career. You got drafted, played pro baseball. It was cool. Like you had like, it's funny because like I was in marketing, but I was like, I watched Jerry Maguire and like I love sports. Like I always wanted to be like an agent. Like you were the guy that got to be an agent. And so I was like, I want to catch up with my boy. He's an agent. That's freaking dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny story. When I first started in the business, I mean, you can tell like an agent versus a scout.
Yeah.
Agents, Jerry Maguire with a suit. And, you know, my hair was a lot darker then, but it's like, you look like Jerry Maguire, and that kind of took off from there.
Like earlier as you were playing baseball.
But literally the life, as a sports agent is kind of like that movie. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You told me some crazy stories, like how you had to like sign guys and like some of the baseball players you signed.
Yeah. Yeah. It was,
because you started with Gaylord, right? Like, you worked for and Gaylord is again, kind of has Tempe ties. It was Phil Mickelson's agent. Malloy started it, right?
Steve Loy.
So it's Loy, not Malloy. Loy.
Yeah, try to Reader Digest version.
Yes.
Was drafted, played seven years, retired, went to corporate America, hated it.
That's right. I remember that. I talked to you right when you were doing that.
Yeah, the entrepreneur spirit. Yeah. Just wanted to innovate. And then I was given the opportunity to become a sports agent. So the agency that represented me was Gaylord.
Yeah.
My agent in the baseball division, but I reported to Steve Loy, who was the founder, who was Phil's agent.
Still Phil's agent today.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I learned so much about marketing and endorsement deals to the golf agents. And that's kind of where the passion took off of where I'm at today.
Because the baseball guys don't do it like the golf guys because they're on a team sport, right?
Yeah. And you got guaranteed money.
Yeah. The baseball contracts are nice.
Yeah. You get guaranteed money. You get hit by a bus. Like your next Ken gets it. It doesn't matter. You know? So they love more free stuff than actually like
The baseball guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little influencer marketing tip. If there's a baseball guy, like it's free stuff. They're good. Yeah. There you go.
Locker room, it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
That's actually a good tip.
100%. Yeah, but the guys, like, that's what's cool is you started representing like when CrossFit was big. You got into the CrossFit game like big time.
In 2011, I got introduced to CrossFit just by me doing it, and an athlete, Camila Blanc-Bazinet, was starting to get some recognition. She had Reebok approaching her.
Yeah.
One of my major league players was certified by her boyfriend.
Oh, cool.
And so they just talked and like, what do agents do? And so they put me in touch. And so I saw this vision to help athletes outside of baseball and all sports so that they could literally make money full time so they could do their job to compete. And so that's where it was, what can I do through social media to reference some sort of value for this person? And so they can not have a side job and be able to train all day. So that's kind of what fueled me to take it outside of traditional sports.
Like almost like building up their personal brand,
so
monetizing it through endorsements or their own products, like outside their sport.
Yeah. So when I started Facebook, remember it was like capped at 5,000 friends.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But then it just transitioned to the athlete page where you could have an athlete page and you could have hundreds of thousands of people follow you. So it started there and then Twitter.
Yes.
And then 2014, Instagram.
Was Camila like your first big one outside of baseball?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Did she win the CrossFit Games?
She did. 2014.
She won the whole deal, like right at probably the height of CrossFit.
Yeah, she did.
And then the other guy, who's the other? You had
Josh Bridges.
Yeah. He's huge.
He's a former Navy SEAL. And yeah, he actually at the time was in the Navy and couldn't really have social media given his job. So it was really tough. But once he got on it, like, I mean, he's a huge brand now, which is great. And then I started working with Maddie Rogers. They call her Maddie Cakes.
Okay. She's big. I've heard of her.
Just punched her card to the Olympics.
Wow.
I should be a very decorated Olympic athlete, in my opinion, but just had a passion for helping athletes, but I wanted to take it further than the endorsement. It was like, how can I make these athletes money while they sleep, but also when they're done competing or playing? So that was the whole goal. And that's where you and I started talking.
Yeah, for sure. Because we saw what kind of Gary Vee was doing, and I had the agency side, not the athlete side. And then all my friends were either former athletes or agents or, and so I would talk to you. And like, I think you and I both, even 3 or 4 years ago, we saw this, like this merging of like social platforms and brand platforms. And as televisions decline, like athletes, I think, have the most long-term opportunity for marketing.
Absolutely. And it stuck in my head when my mentor, who was my agent, he had said, just keep this in mind. It never ends good for you as the agent. And I was like, why? And he's like, because you can't get them a job or they're just too old to compete or play anymore. And so it's your fault. Right. And so I'm like, I got to fix that.
Yeah.
And so this was a way to fix that where, hey, at least they have something to fall back on or they have some sort of residual income coming in.
They don't talk about this in Jeremiah. I've actually heard this from a lot of agents. Like they get someone their first contract, and then at the second deal, like I don't know the percentage, but a high percentage of agents get fired after that first contract going into the second contract.
They could.
A lot of especially in not so much baseball, but definitely in football. I hear that a lot. Yeah,
because it's not guaranteed money. Yeah. So football's tough.
Football's really tough.
Really tough. Yeah.
Especially like some of those rookie contracts. Like, oh my gosh, like
tough.
And the team sports, it's hard to monetize their name and likeness as then like golf is much easier. Like the weightlifting, CrossFit, like other categories seem like a much.
Yeah, because in my opinion, like the team sports, like the brands will reach out to the actual team.
Correct.
They won't go to the agent.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. Example, Pepsi or Gatorade.
Yeah, they block a lot of deals for those guys. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
I've seen that happen too, which is interesting.
There are so many small brands out there, and I mean that's really how our economy can be great. Is helping small companies really blossom.
Yeah.
Right? And this was the way to do it. So
I think too with influencers, like I think you've done a good job of finding like people that like already love like certain products, and how do you like take people that have influence and pair them up with an existing product they already love, and like that's why you hear more ambassador programs more than like influencer programs.
That's kind of exactly how the model worked. Was like, hey, let's take a look at what you use every day.
Yeah,
whether you train with it or if it's off the field, maybe sunscreen or your face lotion or makeup, whatever it is, like, let's go to those companies because we know you're passionate about it. It's easy to talk about. It's natural, and it's a win for the company.
I love that. So how did the supplement piece come in? How did you become CEO of this giant supplement company? Like,
and it all kind of goes together. But my father was in the manufacturing of supplements for 20 years.
Okay.
He was part of making Whole Foods 365 brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does your dad live here?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He's not now with Tukey still, is he?
Yeah.
He's in the Tuke?
Same house.
No, he's not.
Same house.
Wow.
Yeah. On the Foothills Golf Course.
My parents are still in the Tuke too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I still love it back there.
It's good. Largest cul-de-sac in Phoenix for those people who don't know. Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of cozy though.
It is cozy.
So he introduced me to this product, and as an athlete, to be able to reduce lactic acid in your body is unheard of. From a natural supplement,
for sure. Yeah.
So he gave me a supplement, and
do BCA caps do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
What do those do? Do those do anything?
Branched amino acids are like to help recover the muscle. They're crucial to recover.
So that's different than the lactic acid.
Some you get in your meat.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see people sipping on BCAAs to like the gym. It's actually, that way is not the best way to get your BCAAs.
It's after, like take a couple caps after.
It's after, but you want it paired with something like a protein to kind of help the bioavailability and absorption in your body.
So I'm glad I talked to you about this.
I've learned so much about
this. Since all this shit. I know every time I talk to you, I'm like, holy shit, I'm doing this all wrong.
So he introduced me to his product, sat on my desk. I was racing mountain bikes at the time.
I remember that.
And it said reduce lactic acid. I'm like, there's no way, Tested it 3 different times. I was breathing easier. My legs weren't burning as bad. So I called the founder. I'm like, what's in your product? How come you're not Muscle Milk Big? How come I've never heard of you?
Oh, wow.
Is this legal? And he laughed and he's like, yeah. He goes, are you an athlete? And I was like, I'm a sports agent. He's like, I hate agents, but anyhow, he's like, people have a competitive edge on this and they don't want to tell anyone. And I was like, you're right. I don't want to tell my brother I was on it. I want to tell my dad because you're all racing.
You're all racing mountain bikes. You got your brother and dad all race mountain bikes.
Yeah. My dad.
What are you doing? Trails? Like, what were you doing?
We're doing cross country.
Yeah. You're like, how long would a race be?
My first one was a half, but I think the full one's 35 miles.
35 miles. Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
But I would ride the trail that you ride, South Mountain.
I love South Mountain, yeah.
From where they live to the cabanas and back was 13 miles.
Okay.
So that was like my
your training.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I called the founder and I just saw a vision like this could literally help anyone from their day to day.
He had one product at the time.
He had a couple. He had a probiotic and he had a protein and a multivitamin and a joint product.
And it was based in Arizona?
He brought it from Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, if you can get to the gym more, get more efficient workouts, be less sore, do more, you can get your goals quicker. So everyone needs this product, right? And like especially women, they hate being sore.
It's the worst.
So
I hate being sore.
From there, we have made a brand out of it. Like, I mean, we
done a great job.
Several products around that based on recovery, your diet and performance. So on that particular product, we've had 12 clinicals on it proving now that's reducing lactic acid by 26%. We reduced muscle trauma, which is huge. But the bigger thing for me is oxidative stress.
What's muscle trauma?
So it's called CK levels. So when you go to the gym, you get swole.
Yeah.
And your muscles swell up. Yeah. Those are small muscle fibers that break down. If you have too much of it, it can get in your bloodstream and shut down like your organs. So if you've heard of rhabdo, that's what's happening. And so we also reduced oxidative stress, which is the leading cause of degenerative disease.
Oh, wow.
So you've heard of like leaky gut, stuff like that. So this product is so versatile. It was like
the endurance product helps that too.
Yeah.
On that endurance product.
So we rebranded it.
I take this product too. Yeah. I should know.
So of Extreme Endurance. That's the name of it.
Correct.
And then we rebranded it, made a new SKU called Essential because we know it reduces oxidative stress, which is anti-aging. So if a woman were to see it like on a shelf, they might be like, I don't need Extreme Endurance. But if they saw Essential, we know it's essential to your life to kind of help combat those things, environmental stuff.
And that's the main product.
That's the flagship product that no one else has.
Okay.
But we've built everything else based on science and like, I could sit here for hours telling you why products are different.
I would geek out on it too. But you brought kind of really influencer marketing to this company early. Like this was 7 years ago?
So the way we kind of grassroots grew was we had an app. And we got these ambassadors just that people love the product. They would tag us, make a cool picture, and we'd give them a virtual coin. that they could purchase off our website for it.
Oh, wow.
And so quickly we had up to like 500 people doing it. Yeah. And then
posting and getting the virtual coins to get their product that they already loved.
Right.
So this is like the early ambassador program before they were even calling it. Yeah. How long ago was this?
This was 2015.
Okay.
And I started with them in 12.
Okay.
And from there, we had companies trying to acquire us, direct sales companies.
I'm sure.
And because we had a proven sports,
like Amway type companies.
Yep.
Like what's a Quick Start or whatever that company?
All
of them. Yeah, a bunch of them. Yeah, a bunch out of Salt Lake,
like DoTerra and Young Living and New Skin.
There's one big one in Phoenix. I forget that one.
Plexus.
Yeah,
we're literally butted up to them. Our buildings. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we had several companies trying to acquire us because we have a proven sports performance line, and people were wanting better human performance. So we decided to do it ourselves. We knew that where the world was going. Yeah. Social media, you go to bed with your phone, you wake up to your phone. Yeah. And that's where, they
had you that understands this world, and they had great products.
Right. And so we used it, the branding from like the athletes, like Nike. It didn't blow up till Jordan and Bo Jackson, right? And then everyone's like the best wear Nikes, we need to wear them, right?
100%.
And so we felt like if we have the best products, obviously we're not Nike, but people would want to take these products.
Correct.
And so we built a line of, products for every lifestyle, health and wellness.
How many different products?
We have 14 SKUs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You sent me some good stuff.
So from there, we made it into a direct sales company. So we're a hybrid. Yeah. So you can be a retail customer, or you can go out and refer and make money.
I feel like the way you marketed it, is so much different than I even putting it in that category. And there's a lot of great direct sales companies. Yeah. I'm not mad at them at all. It just seems like the marketing of it is the
stigma is not
kinda, good. Yeah, for sure.
You can say it.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel about it. Yeah.
I went to a Vima event. Is it Vima? Yeah. You ever heard of Vima?
No.
Well, probably, when you're at ASU, those cans, those young college kids.
Yes. Yeah. I thought I was picturing
so they're making millions of dollars.
Yeah, supposedly. Weird. I met that guy. Weirdest guy.
Yeah. And so I went to his event. He invited me, and I left in the middle of it. The stigma of MLM just felt not.
It gets a little hocus pocus.
And I was completely against this direction, but I was like, we can do it different. That's cool. Kind of what we're doing. So we're just trying to really disrupt the industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you think things are going, and not only that industry, but just things in general? Where's this market going?
God, it's so fast paced.
It's fast. It's
hard
nutty.
to keep up.
I'm feeling the same way.
Got advice to give someone right now. I was like, you just can't be content.
It's you know what I think too? I agree with that. I was thinking about this the other day. You have to be so passionate about what you're doing to compete.
Yes.
It's like you and I, grew up competing in sports, and you have to be so committed to compete because it's just competitive. And I just think the business world now, is so competitive. You have to love what you're doing, and you have to compete and wake up to get your ass kicked every day.
Every day.
You know what I mean?
You can be comfortable, but you can't be complacent. You gotta be able to pivot quickly.
You can be comfortable, you think?
I think you can be comfortable, but
how?
You can't.
How can you be comfortable? I'm not comfortable.
I feel like I'm comfortable because I feel like I'm keeping up with the times.
You're confident.
Oh, maybe confident's a good word too, but comfortable that I'm learning that things are advancing.
Yeah, I get that.
Technology, right?
Yeah. Comfortable that you can move with where the market's going.
Right.
Yeah.
If we need to adapt to TikTok or Pinterest.
Yeah, for sure.
Or LinkedIn,
you're ready.
We're ready to do that. And we have a young, hungry team that's young and keeps up with the time. But no, you're right. Business is so competitive, and you have to love what you do to be successful at it.
It's hard. It's a tough business environment, but there's also so much opportunity. That's what keeps me up, is both of those, being, frugal where I need to be frugal, and a steward of our budget, my client's budget, but also, taking advantage of enormous opportunity. We've never seen the type of change to human being, life as we know it. It's basically COVID has been almost like a world war. Yeah. And and that's why I think you've seen the stock market do it. You're seeing, and there's pent up demand for things to do. And so that's why a lot of people are predicting, just after World War II, World War I, you had a huge like boom.
Yeah.
And so I think we're even like I feel like that now, like the last like few weeks has been like everything's like full throttle. Like all my clients like, we need to go. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. And real estate too.
Real estate, like
That's
everything.
where I was seeing it. I'm like, got a lot of friends in loans and
It's nutty.
it's like
Freaks me out, honestly. It freaks me out because I know we're going to hit a correction.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think it's going to be real estate like we're used to. I think it's going to be something different. We don't even know.
Like what? Bitcoin?
Well, I mean, look,
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with Bitcoin. Like, inflation's going to hit. So
That's
where
for
do you
sure.
so where do you put your money? Like, I'm like, shit. Like, I don't know. I'm not like a
Index funds.
You like index funds.
In my opinion,
It's a hedge.
In my research, in my opinion, I think it's since the stock market has started, that is the only thing that's ever stayed consistent. That
Index funds.
that your money would mutual index funds, which
I was just going to go balls to the wall in Ethereum.
would compound. What was the other one?
Dojo?
Doge?
I'm going on the Doge just because the name's cool.
I got in on that a little bit.
Did you?
That one's called Cardano.
Okay.
So the guy who is the co-founder of Ethereum
Okay. Ethereum.
left and started Cardano, and he's saying it's more energy efficient or whatever. I'm still trying to understand all this mining
I just feel
stuff.
like, look, I know they're going up, and I love I like Bitcoin kind of stuff because of the hedge, because I know inflation's going to hit.
Yeah.
My mentor and his mentor is part of like the Robert Kiyosaki group. And Kiyosaki's like, the first time I ever met Kiyosaki, I'll never forget it. He took some like African, $1 million bill out of his wallet. Like, yeah, he did.
That's
I had
insane.
dinner with him. I begged this guy who's now my mentor to like, I want to meet like Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad changed my life. And he's like, he like, we're at dinner and like,
So you did a recording on that. That was awesome.
Ken's amazing. But he talked about inflation. I like never forgot that. And then like, I just saw Kiyosaki post on his Instagram, like this, he went on like this tangent about like how small Bitcoin is in the grand scheme of investing, right? Even though like he's not saying he's against it, like it's going to do okay.
Right.
I just feel like some of them you're going to try to take money out and just be like just like your like offshore sports betting account that I didn't have, but I'm sure people had, and you can't get the money out or something.
Yeah, it should be a small portion of your portfolio or have fun with it. But it's just like that, right? Like keeping up with the times. Like I feel like you kind of got to know what Bitcoin is or 100%. Ethereum. And a lot of people don't even know what that is yet,
Well, that's what's interesting to me. And even, before this, we talked about David Panda a little bit, who had on like, there's so many like marketplaces that are like being built and there's not a leader right in it. So I think what I understand is that the technology or this new way of looking at things or doing things is now being created. Yeah. Now, who will the leader of that be? I don't know. Like whether it's NFTs or blockchain or esports, like obviously there's huge growth in that, but like, what's going to emerge as like the brand, like to go to, who knows?
Your kids game?
My son does.
Does he?
I hate it.
Do you game with him?
I have to. I don't like video games.
Does he beat you?
Well, when we play Madden, I smoke his ass. Yeah, dude. Like he's like, you're so good. He cries. He's so competitive. I love it. That's awesome. He hates losing at anything, which is I can relate to. But he's on another level. So yeah, I beat him at Madden, but I can't play Minecraft. I don't know how.
I would get wiped if I even tried. Like
your kids game. Your kids are too young to game yet.
Yeah, they're too young.
They will. This shit is insane, dude.
But I have 3 girls. My boy is like 2 months old, so I got a while.
You got a. That's true.
2-month-old boy.
Your girls don't game?
No.
How old are your girls?
8, 5, 3.
Oh, yeah, we're in the same boat.
And
dude.
then 2 months.
8, 5, 3, and 2 months. You're insane, dude.
Yeah.
4 kids.
3 girls, dude.
Well, you got the boy.
Yeah, I did. I did. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, the esports thing is crazy. Yeah, to your point, my son games, not crazy. Like I try to limit it. He plays golf and baseball.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's a freaking good golfer. It's annoying.
Now that I play professional baseball, I definitely make my son a pro golfer.
Oh yeah, way better deal.
They got a
it's
cool
so
gig.
hard though, dude.
Oh, it's so hard.
It's harder than baseball. I think it's the hardest sport to make it in.
People don't understand. It's like you walk so much, you swing so much. Like think about when you go and just like warm up on the first hole, how like stiff you are,
dude.
And like and you got to hit the ball straight, but then you got to putt,
dude. It's
all these crowds, like
dude. There's golf coaches that told me right now that like scratch golfers they can't even like get college scholarships to like D2s,
Really?
D3s. It's so
insane.
competitive, man. It is so, you got to be, you know, consistently on multiple courses, like under par, like a plus in high school to get a college scholarship.
That's insane.
And then to make it on like Q school and all that shit.
Yeah,
like
Q school's tough.
It's insane, dude. Like you got to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
You got to have no job. You got to be focused on this. You got to travel around. That's why like a lot of golfers like come from wealthy families. Like they grew up on a country club. They got coaches. Their parents had the money to support them through Q school.
Yeah.
It's
and Q school is tough.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll retract that statement.
Okay, so
maybe you'll play baseball.
To finish this off, I think to finish this off, like I do want to ask you, and part of this podcast, I think, is you know, like what advice would we give to like our 25-year-old self? I do know that like I talk to a lot of young people at colleges. I talk to people, you know, get in the business career, and you know, I wish I could like, you know, take them through the experiences that I've had and give them those insights and then watch them freaking conquer the world. Yeah. What comes up for you, like with thinking about that, like,
you know, I think it's kind of more general advice, but it's kind of like you got to commit to plant your flag somewhere. And once you do, if that's something you're passionate about, you got to continuously educate yourself and learn and grow. But I also think before that, you got to have some major self-growth. Like in order to,
how do you do that? How do you have self-growth?
When I retired, it was the darkest time like of my life, you know, cause like you never think baseball is going to end. You never think money is going to end. And when the real estate market crashed in 2007, I was a part of that, you know? So I went from nothing to having to build back up again. So I did a lot of growth things. Landmark was one that I went through.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about Landmark. Really good. Yeah, I've heard good things about Landmark.
I just completed a year program for coaching and mental strength. It was actually one of the most decorated Navy SEALs that wrote the program.
Cow, he was coaching you?
Yeah, the program did. It's pretty awesome. Now I'm certified to teach it. But
what's that called? That's cool.
It's called Unbeatable Mind.
Wow.
Yeah, it's intense.
That's why I watch your social. I watch your social content and like just relate a lot to like the professional development things you talk about.
And it's tough because like people don't see that part. It's like you really have to do work on yourself.
It's hard.
Put it out there to help others, you know.
Going to the gym's easy compared to like the professional development, like self-growth shit.
But in terms of advice for business, man, it's plant your flag.
I like planting your flag, like meaning like pick what you want to do and like the industry you want to be in,
and stick to it.
And so many people bounce around.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, plant your flag, commit to it, and like do the best that you can in there. Like literally the best. Learn as much as you can every day, and take ownership of your own things. You know, like you can't point blame if you don't succeed. Right. Yeah. It's your fault. And you got to learn how to get out of that or get back up. And I think a lot of people, you know, don't take ownership of that.
I agree with that. Yeah. It's this person's fault. It's that fault or whatever. And like put a mirror up and just figure it out.
And I got asked last week, actually it was a great question, caught me off guard, but it was like, what does success mean to you? And it took me a second, but it was, you know, the ability to help others. Is really what I think, and have healthy relationships. One thing I learned at Landmark was like, if you can just be completely black and white and transparent with someone, that just takes your relationship to another level, you know, because it's like truly authentic and it's not this, you know, surface conversation. You know, you can really connect that way. And I think that's how business should be taken too, in terms of networking. And when you're partnering or merging dollars, like that's most important, you know, to be able to connect with people. So yeah, that's how I answered that question.
I love that. You know, what's funny is I think this is now my 12th podcast or whatever. I don't even know, like we talk about like, I don't know what I'm doing or like whatever. It's like, all right, let's do it. But like the same insights from successful people, like, are like come out over and over and over again in a different story and like a little different, you know, like a little different verbiage, but like the same thing about like authenticity, and about like purpose and about having like your purpose infused with helping other people, and that can be like your job.
Integrity, seriously, because I think that's a role of a leader, you know.
And the word integrity is so weird to me.
It is.
It seems so like stiff and like not like what it is. I don't know.
My definition of integrity would be, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Yeah.
That's just it. you know?
Can we come up with a different word? I don't know why I don't like the word integrity, because it's like everyone
uses it.
Yeah, I do, like, for 13 years I've done branding for like companies, right? So like I sit in this room, we talk about like what the company's going to be, and we basically like figure out like the company's purpose, right? So we can do like dope marketing for them.
Yeah.
And like everyone's like, our website too, it's like integrity's at the core. It just like sounds so like outdated of a word or something.
No, you're right. And I guess I just don't have another word for it.
I don't either.
I just think it's huge that we're character. You have good character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like just be a good person. It's tough to come by these days, really, especially in business.
Yeah, because people in business do weird stuff. They get like shady.
Yes.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. That leads me to another point though. Like people that I've done a couple podcasts where they're like, "What? How does it feel to be like at the top?" Or I'm like, first of all, I just have a title. You know, like I can be stripped of that in a second. Yeah. You know, but it's probably worse being at the top. And they're like, "What's it like that you arrived?" Or what's that saying?
Oh, that's so funny.
You made it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you never make it. Like, no. I may arrive, I may be here, but like every day is problem solving. Yeah. And it's probably harder up here than you think. And
you just have more bosses.
Right.
You call like your team members, your employees, your shareholders, your partners, your sponsors, your clients. Like,
but to your point, then you deal with people that don't have good character, and and you have to navigate that and stuff like that. So
my view, anyone like I like am learning now at 39, like to trust my gut more. Like, and if there's someone like energy that I'm off with, like I'm finally at a place where I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm not going to deal with you. Like, you're just not like, it's more about the people, not like the product or what the opportunity is.
You're right on. I was actually going to do something next Wednesday on gut, and I hadn't wrote it out, but like,
I hate that word too. It's just weird. Like gut, like it's not your gut. It's like
even in my training. Yeah. Even in my training, there is an intuitive pillar in our life that we need to pay attention to. Yeah. And it's your gut. And so two things, if your health or a feeling, you should always start at your gut.
Yeah, for sure.
So if an issue with health, start with your gut. There's an issue with
that's a great point.
Your feelings or an outward thing, go with your gut.
Dude, that, there's
gut's always right.
There's a lot to that. I think I told you, not a lot of people, but like I have this book I've been working on, and it's all about like.
Oh, you're writing a book?
I'm writing a book. Dope. Yeah, it's cool.
That's sweet.
It's I had like a major like fall. Like I screwed up. And during that time in my life, this was probably like 5 years ago, my stomach like was hurting constantly. Yeah. And I think I was carrying a lot of stuff and traumas and stress, and it showed up physically.
100%.
And now my stomach doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, it does. So
you're talking about the gut. Like that's so true.
So that would be my advice, is like, I have health issues. Is like, start with the gut.
Totally.
If have this outward problem with relationships or feelings, like go with your gut.
That's so true.
It's true. It all aligns.
So everyone should get colonics. Have you had that?
No.
Don't do it.
No, actually,
it was the worst experience of my life.
Was it?
Yeah.
For how long?
It was probably like an hour.
I am one of those people that goes against, and that's why I got in the supplement market, was I go against like the grain, because if you do a lot of research, like a cleanse isn't necessarily the best thing for you. To like, you're depleting yourself actually of the good stuff.
You're totally right.
And water weight. So you really want to cleanse with good foods, whole foods, like cruciferous vegetables and stuff like that. You can cleanse your gut that way. And there's a whole formula to it, but like depleting yourself through a laxative is just going to make everything worse.
Dude, I think just everything is all like, you bring such a point, like everything's about like this, like get rich quick, get healthy quick, like all these quick fixes. And it's like, go back to the basic kind of shit.
That'd be good advice for young kids.
Go back to the basics.
Yeah. But like you're not going to get rich quick.
No, I
like, you're successful, but people don't know the years and days and months and late nights and airplane flights and like everything you did to build this,
100%. Well, there's nothing like
partying and drinking.
Yeah. Like people, I do think people think that, and like, still like, look, we're still young. Like we're not in earning years.
Right.
We're building, like, at least for me, like I'm not like liquid a bunch of money. Like I built something that I'm proud of that is still, being built.
Yep.
But like, I think people are like, oh, this person's rich. And like,
perception of that.
Yeah. No, they're not.
That's another great point is like perception is like you're at the top. So you're wealthy.
Yeah.
But they don't understand like sometimes that wealth has to be reinvested to take care of your people first.
100%.
Leaders eat last. That's a good book too. If you haven't read that one.
Who wrote that?
I don't know.
That.
I don't
think you told me
remember I read it about a year ago, but leaders eat last. Just we'll always remember that. It's true.
It is true.
You got to take care of your people first.
100%.
But it's a perception of you're at the top, you're wealthy, or you must get paid the most, or something like that.
Or like, like you're wealthy, you screwed someone to get there, or whatever.
And it's huge sacrifice that you have to make to get there.
I do think like, and part of the reason for this podcast too is I think we're entering finally into like this new world of connection and trust.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be hard to come by.
Yeah.
And I think, professionals that are coming up, like if you can really dive into the professional development stuff that I know you and I have been in for a while, that there'll be a huge benefit because like in the new world, as I think technology advances and they say it doubles every couple of years or something, which is probably true. And it exponentially, gets better and better and better. The differentiator will be the kind of person that you are and how spiritually connected you are, how in tune you are with your body, how in tune you are with a relationship like this. The X factor is not going to be IQ. Right. It's definitely going to be EQ.
Awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually preparing a speech for a summit we have in a couple of weeks. And I had to really look at like after post-COVID, I think what's important now, and this is more generalized, but like I think the top two is health. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. And that means mental health too.
100%.
Because what's happened during the pandemic, a lot of unhealthy people mentally.
Yes.
But then finances. So I think those are the top two things that are the forefront of our minds post-pandemic.
I'd agree with that.
But mental health is right in there.
I've seen it a lot. I mean, we've had a lot of employees working from home, and we've had people that, like don't have family in the market that they're in. And so now they're like sheltered down at home and they're losing that connection.
Yeah.
Like they've missed even like the work piece of like connecting with people.
Even stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
My wife, it's like, you get to interact with people all day. And I don't think about that.
Yeah. It's so crucial though.
You need that connection or that community. Community equals immunity.
I agree. Yeah.
So cheesy, but it's true.
You got all the lines. You're just being advertised. That's good. Well, I know you're slammed. I know we got to meet after this. But thank you for doing this. Hey, look, check out Jason and his social media handles. If you could give a shout out quickly to Xendurance and all your stuff you got going on.
We're at Xendurance. At Xendurance, and then mine's Jason_Xendurance on Instagram.
Awesome, man.
Where you can find me.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just want to tell everyone, hey, if you like what you've seen, share it, follow us. Definitely trying to build a community of awesome entrepreneurs that are just good people. If you know someone that's in business that could hear this advice from, somebody in the trenches, doing some amazing things with some big brands, definitely share this to them. And thanks for tuning in. I know you're busy, and we definitely are putting our heart and soul into this podcast and want to give you great content with great people. So thanks for listening. Truly appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next time.
You just experienced the Big Reset, Marketing and Business Edition. New episodes of our highly engaging series drop every Wednesday, while past sit-downs are available to stream or download in our archive. For more, follow your host at Scott Harkey on Instagram. And for more on OH, check out ohpartners.com.